Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Recording live, not live, from the bed. Things got this bad. No shit. Anyway, I want to talk a bit today about training the same, and my idea is that we should all train the same. But you're going to have to hear me out with this one because it'll make more sense when you actually listen through to my kind of understanding and just what my experience is. So I'm in bodybuilding now for, I guess, about 15, 16 years, something like that. Started with my brother. He was about 2 years ahead of me. Learned a lot. Met new people at the gym, people that have done different things, achieved a lot with different ideas of what training should be like. I think one thing we can all agree is that, you should train hard, as in cause the body to have that stimulus to say, we need to adapt from this. It's quite tricky. Let's not make this hard again, because I don't like hard. I like easy, which makes sense because that's what we all like to do in life. No matter what it is in life, we always want the best, easiest, direct route. Challenges are fun, but it's a lot more fun sometimes when you actually get to enjoy reaping the rewards of that challenge. Back to the point. So just to give you a bit of context here, my training sessions are about an hour long. In terms of the time that would actually take me to get it done in the gym, if I had a gym which was a bit more accessible in terms of being able to get on the equipment in a reasonable time frame, it'll take me 25 minutes, maybe half an hour at best. So what am I doing? I'm doing 3 sessions per week, Monday, Wednesday and Saturday, and it goes upper body, lower body and full body. Each session is typically about 6 to 8, maybe 9 sets, maybe at a push. That'll also probably include rest pause sets or any intensifiers that I use. So we're looking at under 30 sets a week, probably 20, 25 sets per week. That's what I'm doing right now. Bear in mind, I'm 6'1". I'm something like fuck all percent body fat. You can see there's nothing here really. It's in my thighs. I'm not fat, guys, obviously. Probably, if you measure me on a body fat caliper, it's about 4.5% right now. So not a lot of fat. But I'm still managing to actually maintain my gym performance, frequency, intensity, everything just fine. And how is that? I'm not doing more than what my body requires it to do in order to maintain or build muscle. So I found the volume that works for me. Now, it depends on your background setting. So what you see here is me pretty crippled up. I'm lying down bedridden 20 plus hours a day. It's just the way life is, just to get out the house to do anything. Medication, it's hard work. It's an absolute pain in the fucking ass. There's no two ways about it, to be honest. But what I want to get across here is the point of what I call baseline or background settings. What I mean is we all have like a recovery capacity. So mine's pretty crap. So, red light therapy, good quality water if I can get it or something like that, I think just like hacks, beef fat talent on my skin before I go outside. I've got blue blocking glasses. So we're looking at something like, 3-4 biohacks just here, me just sat here right now. Also grounded in a grounding mat. You can't really see. There's a bit of material there. Yeah, I'm grounded when I'm obviously touching it. I'm not lying on the duvet, but you get the point. That's just me. My background settings are this. My recovery requirement is this. This is what I need to do to continue to adapt and respond to the training I'm putting on my body. Now, other people out there, you'll meet guys that are builders, postmen, people with a lot of output, great. They might actually have better recovery capacities because they're so tired or so fit or have such great resilience to injury. They've got a great night's sleep every day. They can eat a lot of food. They've got a high mitochondrial function. They get a lot of sunlight. Great. Their settings are good. They're in a position where they can go to the gym in the evening, go to bed at night, be exhausted and just sleep 8 to 10 hours or whatever it's recommended to be, which I think is overstated. Especially for following a carnivore diet, I don't think you need that much sleep. That's what I typically notice. So yeah, what I'm saying is, we all have a recovery capacity. Are we meeting it or not? I'm redlining mine every single day, but my body gives me a very strong signal if I go over that. Today is one of those days. I had to drag an aircon unit from downstairs upstairs today. Yesterday, struggled with that and plug it in. It's difficult for me. And things are carefully positioned, like close to my body, not much twisting or bending at all. Yeah, I can lift pretty much everything, a lot. But as soon as my hips have to move, no. Then I'm bed bound pretty much all day, which is irritating as hell. And you can't expedite it outside of the biohacks I'm doing already, carnivore diet, things like that. Glutathione, supplementation, things like that. So yes, I'm maximizing what I can do whilst minimizing the stress and impact to my body. So what you're going to find here is we all have that amount. So I get a lot of sort of questions like, what plan should I do? I'm like, I don't fucking know. What's your recovery capacity? You know, some people just have to do 20 sets in the gym per session just to get the stimulus. I'd argue they're probably not training hard enough at each set, but there's probably people out there just like that. Me, I'm doing like, I don't know, 3-4 sets per body part per week, something like that. I don't know. Not a lot, but that's sufficient because of the way I train. But I also train at my capacity that I can recover from. So broad guideline here is train, go to the gym as little as you have to get the most response. The least amount of wear and tear in your body. So what you're going to find is over time, over the weeks, years, months, I don't know, decades of training, you're going to find that your recovery capacity is the bottleneck. Why? Because you can train harder and harder. Your muscle fiber activation, your motor recruitment becomes harder as you get more advanced because you learn the skill of training. You understand, oh, this is actually really hard, whereas before I thought it was hard, but it actually wasn't. It's actually a bit shit. So as you get better, training capacity performance goes up, intensity goes right up, volume might go up as well. Then you find, what do I do here? I can't eat more food. I can't sleep more at night. I can't train harder. What do I do? That's when people use PEDs to expedite that recovery. But again, every drug, every medication supplement has some kind of weird side effect somewhere. So the question is, how do you get the most result whilst doing the least? And that's what people should always think about when they're training. I think this very much overstated this whole idea of like watching these guys. Mike Israel, well, volume is the primary driver of muscle growth. Apparently not. So I gained a shit ton of muscle this off season as a fucking cripple without doing 50 sets per week, per body part, or whatever it is, 42 sets. You know, the requirement is whatever the requirement is at the time for the person. Now, did I make gains in the past doing a high volume session? Yeah, it certainly worked. Was it optimal? Absolutely not. Very clearly not, because this year, in terms of off-season 24 to 25, I guess it is now, 5 kilos of muscle gain, like actual stage weight, as in my body now actually has that much more muscle on it. And it's not like, oh, all of a sudden I've taken PEDs or all of a sudden I've done this. No, I've just managed recovery better than fucking ever. So I've found the least amount I can do in the gym, which means the least amount of food that I have to put from my system, which means the least stress on my gut, the least potential impact or margin of error when it comes to getting good quality sleep at night, because I'm not stuffing my face to the point of oblivion with carbs and fruit, sugar, honey, crap, whatever it is, processed food. I'm eating cleaner. I'm eating foods that my body enjoys. More intuitive day by day. So I kind of understand, I'm actually hungry now versus I just want, I don't know, a packet of chewing gum. You know, maybe I'm a bit thirsty. Maybe I didn't have any salt all morning and I've gone to the gym. It's a hot day. You know, I'm sort of quite finely tuned at this point in time. So that's kind of what I intend to do with my videos, is not, obviously I have a product to sell, yeah, and they're fucking awesome. Obviously, I always wouldn't promote them, wouldn't still be doing it. The problem is, I'm also trying to give you guys this point of view. It's like, forget this, how many sets, this many reps, this ratio protein to fat. Fuck it, fucking forget all of it. Every single bit of it. What do you need to do? Me? I'm not you. You're not me. What I need to do with supplements, training, diet, whatever it is completely different. And I say, you know, for example, I've got an intake right now of 370 grams of protein. But aren't you worried about all that sugar? What sugar? My blood glucose doesn't budge. It fucking barely budges. What else? There's the HbA1c measurement. Doesn't budge. What I do find though is if I go overboard, so I start processing foods myself, so it's like a Carnivore ice cream with butter bites and this and that, and adding things together, like mix matching foods just to maximize satiety. Well, I'd say just pleasure, hedonic pleasure, but that's the point where you get more food, but probably less nutrition. So, you know, sort of the dairy side of it. Dairy is great. I'm a big advocate of dairy if you can tolerate it. Is too much potentially going to make you fat? Yeah, if you find it hyper palatable, if you really enjoy it to that point. So you need to maybe reduce the dairy, increase the meat. Meat's going to have a lot of potassium. You're training a lot, sweating a lot, you're going to lose electrolytes. So your requirement for some things will be higher at some times versus others. So there should almost be a seasonality aspect to your diet. Which brings me to another point now. I want a big ramble today. Can you fucking believe it? If you eat fruit, honey, whatever it is, seasonally, locally, and it exists in your local diameter of radius of circle of pi of fucking Einstein, who knows what, yeah, you should tolerate it. It should be good. There's fuck all around me right now that I can tolerate. Like, we're not in summer right now, probably spring sort of time. When it gets to summer, okay, there's going to be blackberries, maybe a few strawberries about in some fields, I don't know. Berries basically is all the fucking is in. Maybe. It's not exactly about where you're from, but it's just what your body does at that time. What does your body do and need at that exact situation in time? So that's why I'm all against all these fucking challenges and sardine fasts and don't eat for a fucking week, then eat loads of food, then stop, then start. And your body doesn't know what the fuck's going on. It just, what's your body do at that time? What's your background settings, your default baseline settings I keep talking about? And how do you move forward from there? That's what I'm trying to get across. And if you're absolutely stuck and you spin your wheels, you're watching this video, you don't have to take my information as gospel. What I'm saying to people is not really controversial. I'm saying listen to your body and do what your body needs to do at the time, which everyone should be doing anyway, you know, in an ideal situation. But what I'm saying is, like, think carefully about what you're doing. Does it match what you need? So the example of me again, 370 grams of protein per day. Is that bad? For me, apparently not. That's like, I've tried reducing it in the past just out of curiosity, you know, washout periods where I've sort of done the experiment. Did it help? No. Within days, I felt like crap. Well, if you give it a bit more time, well, apparently not, because I've done the experiment so many times. How many times do you have to do an experiment on yourself to work out it didn't work? Do you see what I mean? But my settings may change in 5 years' time. Maybe I'm not able to do any activity, so my protein will go right down. Obviously, not breaking down as much, so maybe I need to, I don't know, eat a bit less. That makes perfect sense to me. So, what do you take from this? Do we all need to train the same? Yeah, we all need to train the same, based on our recovery capacity, based on our background default baseline settings. What do we know about training? Well, it has to be hard to stimulate the muscle. What do we know? Okay, we've got to come back again to do more, because one session won't build you 100 pounds of muscle in your body. So, okay, we need to train a bit, you know, some sort of relatively frequent amount in order to get enough muscle groups trained to cause that stimulus over time. But we find that bottleneck. Where is that bottleneck? That's the fun of training. That's what bodybuilding is. The bodybuilding is who is the best person on the day, physique-wise, but oftentimes it's how they got from A to B that makes all the difference. So, for example, you might not know who this is, but Nick Walker, he's built like a fridge. Wide waist, very short legs, short arms, long torso, got great brick abs sort of thing, like well-developed abs. He's not aesthetic to look at, but he's maximised what he's done. So maybe that means he's changed his training based on his background settings, his genetics. So maybe he's not doing, I don't know, heavy deadlifts without a belt. Maybe he's squatting with certain machines that reduce oblique recruitment during his training. Do you see what I mean here? So to get from A to B, you have to find out that fun bit in the middle. So, you know, like you see me, I've made a couple of videos. It's like, oh, here's a shred protocol. Here's, you know, whatever fat loss or whatever it is, or muscle building. Yeah, it's just based around principles, based on broad general guideline that I found works for a lot of people, if not most people. But that's based on my clientele unique to me. My clientele is often probably going to match the people that are watching this video. So therefore, it's most like for the person, the content viewer. So, you know, hopefully that's been useful, guys. I've made hopefully some good points there. If you want to support me, I'd be really appreciated right now. You do not know how much I'd appreciate that. I've got a few members on my channel. That's one way of supporting me. I've got consultation services, coaching plans, ebooks. If you don't want to talk to me and you're just thinking, fuck, I want this guy's help, but he sounds really abrasive and rude and hard to deal with, well, I'm not. Anyone that's really worked with me in a personal setting would know that's not the case at all. But I'd say, you know, I've got email coaching, like an email service where you can say, here's me, here's my pictures, here's my questions, here's my training, da, 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 da. Hi, Jonathan, thanks for whatever you've done, blah, blah. Be polite, it helps. I'll go through and I'll answer every single one of them. It might probably take about 45 minutes or so. So that's a service I also offer. So no one is about help. Help is important. Sometimes we all need help. There's no problem in asking. I don't have all the answers. I have help. The coach, for example, he helps me look at my physique and say, oh, this is where you're heading right now. This is the direction you're going. Maybe we need to manipulate this training or this recovery aspect or diet, whatever it is. We all need some kind of second eye because we don't have all the answers, which is why we watch YouTube, to gain information or, you know, education or entertainment in some cases, to further ourselves and our human development. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Support me the best you can. Hit like at least. Thank you.
Introducing Beef Up Carnivore Bodybuilding Bible. The ultimate guide for men and women to lose fat and build muscle. And the best part, it's only $12. Don't miss out on the most detailed resource available. Get your copy now at compositionconsultant.com. Build muscle and lose fat on the carnivore diet.